Something I've been dropping the ball with is a little piece of paper that we all have encountered at some point, and I remembered that they could have inspirational messages on them, but I just always kept forgetting to come back to them or save them, or I would save them and misplace them to make review videos on them. And those are the almighty fortune cookies and the little messages that tend to be inside. And I don't know about you guys, but nothing worse than getting a fortune cookie that didn't have a fortune written inside it. That's only happened to me 2 times, but it's been funny nonetheless. This one has been sitting in my car since the last time you guys saw me eat at Panda, and I just went like bloop, tossed it. It was on my back seat. I discovered it some days ago, and I said, oh, I need to make a note of that. And as opposed to grabbing it and taking it with me, I didn't, because my hands were full. I was loading, I want to say it was my laundry. I was loading something onto my back seat, and I just completely forgot about it because I put something on top of it. Not on top of it, because obviously it didn't break, but anyway, nearby. So I thought that I would officially let you guys know that this is going to be the first episode of me reviewing fortune cookies as I encounter them. Editing Sam here. For some reason, I kept having like a little burn in my gut, a little burn in my chest about this being my first fortune cookie review, and it turns out that it quite isn't. I made a reaction to a fortune cookie some 7 years ago, and it was talking about my career, I guess, but I don't remember at all what it said. I'm not gonna play back that video because I'm always afraid that YouTube is gonna think I'm giving myself fraudulent views, and it's so hard to prove to a stupid computer that I ain't doing that, so I never risk it. Once I post something, it's posted and it's forever something that I never revisit. Unless for some reason in the future someone happens to play it in my presence and ask me about it, but I doubt that's gonna happen. I guess we could say this is the official introduction to that being a thing, but we could say this is episode 2. And see if I get any repeats. Obviously, I'm not going to make a topic on them if they have a repeat, but because of the cards, I realized that I really like it when I have a little bit of a guide to my topics, like, oh, this is the topic, this is the statement. What does it make me think? What does it make me feel? With that intro out of the way, let's get started. I confess I stopped eating fortune cookies years ago because, I mean, they taste good, but I feel like I didn't need to be eating them after my meal, and I wasn't too wild about some of the ingredients in it. So if I'm going to do damage by eating fast food, I want it to at least limit some of the damage. So this one says quality counts and you got it. And immediately what it makes me think of is how you are supposed to focus on quality over quantity, because we know that if you pump out too much of something in the name of speed, and especially in the business world, it doesn't equate to efficiency. Therefore, quality is going to be sacrificed, and I think quality is something that should never be compromised. When it comes to me though, I feel like my quality as a person is pretty good because I like to be honest, I like to be respectful of other people, considerate, and try to observe people objectively, and if I can, offer my best advice, especially at work, since that's really where I get real social interactions taking place. But outside of that, I have always been confident about my quality in everything, even down to things like driving and home management. That could improve for sure, because there's some things that I'm kind of testing the waters with, seeing what it is that I can do and when and how, as opposed to letting it overwhelm me like it used to. And of course, as a worker, I've always been focused on the job. In recent times, I began to experience my decline in my performance via those days that I had to share with you guys that I had to skip not going the extra mile because I felt like that wasn't really necessary considering I wasn't being compensated for it and it's not part of my job description. And it's not like I'm trying to make an impression because I'm trying to move up, right? So what is the point of being taken advantage of like that if I'm not going to really progress personally? There's only so much that you can do for free before it becomes abuse. It's just one of those things. I've never doubted my output and what I take in, what I take out, what I give back and things. But it's something that I hope that I never lose my consciousness with. I hope that I never stop being aware of those things. And I'm pretty confident in pointing out to myself when I haven't handled something as well as I could have. Like, for instance, the occasional customer interaction that I knew I could have maybe achieved something, gotten something out of it, but I decided not to because it's something that I like to be selective about. I don't want to say for people to earn it exactly, but if I feel like I'm teaching a lesson by holding back on my level of service, then I will. And then wait for another opportunity to show up to exhibit those best traits of going above and beyond. Because in reality, if you try to go above and beyond every single day of your life, it's just not practical. It will drain you. It will cost you. And now I discovered that balance. My balance is I like for it to feel like I'm bestowing it, I'm performing it when the situation truly calls for it, as opposed to just deploying that, performing that as my default. And I guess to phrase that a little differently, we could say, you guys have heard me say how what is sacred shouldn't become commonplace. Well, that's what I mean. Don't make something that's meant to be special, significant, to be something that's easily accessible, easy to find, easy to expect, because then you get used to it, you begin to expect it, and you take it for granted. And I feel like the quality of things can suffer when you begin to take things for granted. If that makes sense. I hope it does. Well, there you guys have it. That's it from me on this one when it comes to my fortune cookie interpretation. Let me know your thoughts, and do you remember a really good fortune cookie message that you may have read? I have read so many, and some of them have felt as premonitions, but I don't take them too seriously because I know that they're generic enough to where everybody can relate to them at some point. So I know that I have another strip lying around somewhere, but I have no idea where it went. I have like the view of it. I just don't know where in the house map it is. But anyway, yeah, I'll be sharing those now. Okay, bye.